Okay, so I have three sensors, or two sensors and a motor hooked up to kind of give you an idea of how we use the test interface window to check all of our settings and make sure everything's set up correctly. So we'll first start off with our analog sensor here, our photo cell. Our photo cell is plugged into the AX input over here, so if you can see that, that's plugged into my photo cell. I'm going to just attach that to the board here. I have a switch, which is a digital input, so I've got it wired normally open. So if you notice there, it's plugged into ports 1 and 3, plugs 1 and 3 here, and it's in the I1 port plugged in here. So I have my switch, and then I have a motor, which is an output. And again, if you notice here the wiring, I've got one plug on each side of the channel, and it's plugged into the M1 position on my interface. And if I go over to my test interface window, I'm going to first look at my analog input. And if you notice down here, it's around 100 rather than the 1023 that it was last time we looked at this. And if I put my hand over the sensor and create a shadow, you'll notice that that analog value continues to rise. And as I get my hand closer and closer to it to cover it up, it will then be fully blocked. And if I take it off, you can see that it responds, and it should drop back down to the lower value again. So this is how an analog sensor works. It gives you that range of values. The next one is my digital switch. So again, it's normally open and it's plugged into I1. So currently the unchecked value here is a 0, and when I push the button, you'll notice you can hear the click and you can see the check mark right there. And then finally, my output is my motor, and I can then click on clockwise and it will spin the motor clockwise, or if I hit the counterclockwise button, it spins it the other way. Now, motors are polar devices. Let's say, for example, you've got this hooked up and you hit clockwise and it doesn't go the direction you want it to go. All you have to do is pull the plugs out and then flip your red and green plugs on the hardware, and when you click clockwise again, it goes the direction you want. So that's kind of the nice thing about the motors is I typically have my students use clockwise as anything in the positive X or positive Y direction. So if they have this on a cart and it moves to the right, that should be a clockwise direction. If it moves to the left, it should be counterclockwise, because on a number line, your positive numbers are increasing as you go to the right and they decrease as you go to the left. So that's typically how I have that set up. Once you've done that and you've checked some of your sensors and you make sure that they are plugged in and work, then you can be done. I'm going to pause the video, and then I'm going to get a new set of sensors in here and show you those. Okay, so I'm back, and all I've done is I've taken the motor out and I've replaced it with a lamp, and then I've taken out the switch and I've replaced it with the photo transistor, which again is a polar digital device. So again, I've matched up my red and red, and the red plug has to go into the bottom row on your interface. I'm going to turn the lamp on very similar to how I turned on the motor. I'm going to click on M1, and you can click on clockwise or counterclockwise and it turns the lamp on. And if you notice now, something has changed with I1. I1 has gone to a checked condition, and if I put my hand in the way and block the lamp, you'll notice that it goes to the unchecked. So it goes from checked to unchecked when I block the lamp. Okay, so I've put the motor and the switch back on because I'm now ready to do some programming, and that's kind of where we're going to go next. So you should have your interface set up with an analog sensor, a digital sensor, and an output motor currently. Those are the things that we're going to use. We're going to do some basics in terms of intro to programming, and then kind of let you kind of go on your own and go from there. So hopefully teach you some tips and tricks, and hopefully these videos have helped you. But that's all we've got in terms of our setup of our interface, the setup of our sensors, talking a little bit about each of our sensors and how they plug in.